guys! So funny bumping into you.
Yeah, I mean, we all live here now, so not that funny.
Just makes more people like them. This whole thing is wrong. They're telling you guys to reduce yourself into products.
We couldn't get jobs and we ran out of money. We ate chicken out of bowls and rode in big cars full of smelly people to something called work. Every day was a new nightmare.
We're just performers instead of human beings.
He's right. Trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we?
Cereal! And yes, you have to pay for everything, Harry. Life is hard. Most people struggle.
I have red hair. I know struggle.
Park County Police Station, what's your emergency?
Yeah, the neighbors across the street are setting off fireworks and it's 10:30 at night.
Oh, is it the Prince of Canada and his wife who just want to be left alone?
Hey! You ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
Yeah, come on, honey. We don't need this place.
Honey?
What happens when the world's most savage cartoon targets two of the most talked about royals on the planet? South Park took aim at Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and didn't miss. The jokes? Brutal. The impact? Massive. But here's the twist. They might not be done yet. Sources say a second round of mockery is already in motion. And this time, it's even harsher. At the center of it all, a leaked scene showing Meghan swiping a card labeled victim. And it gets declined. That one image has sparked a wildfire. Memes, parodies, online chaos. And now people are asking, has the public finally turned? Let's go back to where it started. The episode that lit the match. When South Park aired the worldwide privacy tour, it hit harder than anyone expected. The cartoon mocked Harry and Meghan as fame chasers yelling, "We want privacy," while doing media tours. Harry's book, renamed Wah, Meghan's character, branded a spotlight addict. Clips went viral instantly. Social media lit up, and surprisingly, the royal couple stayed silent. But insiders claimed Meghan was devastated and felt the jokes crossed a line. Still, there was no lawsuit, no statement, just silence. For most, the episode was brutal and done. But now, something's changed. Because a leak just hit the internet, and it's darker, funnier, and allegedly way more personal. Just when the backlash had settled, a mysterious leak reignited everything. Sources say an unaired South Park scene was quietly slipped online, and it showed something even more savage than the original episode. In it, Meghan tries to swipe a bright pink card labeled victim. The cashier looks up and says, "Sorry, it's been declined." That one frame hit the internet like a bomb. People didn't just repost it, they turned it into a movement. Victim card declined started trending across TikTok, Reddit, and Twitter. Memes exploded. Commentators jumped in. Some called it hilarious. Others said it was cruel. But one thing was clear. The internet wasn't done mocking the couple. And behind the scenes, sources claim Archewell staff were scrambling. Again. Because this wasn't just a meme. This was the start of something much, much bigger. After the leaked scene blew up, the internet didn't just laugh, it cashed in. Within days, victim card declined hoodies, mugs, and phone cases popped up on Etsy, Amazon, and TikTok shops. The meme had turned into a brand. Some sellers even used Meghan's animated face, tears and all, slapped right onto shirts. Others just printed the card with the phrase in bold red text, and people were buying it. Fast. One insider claimed Meghan was deeply hurt by the merch trend, calling it a targeted smear campaign hiding behind satire. But legally, there wasn't much to do, because South Park was protected under parody laws, and fans were just reacting. Meanwhile, creators online were remixing the joke, replacing the victim card with new punchlines. Duchess of Denial, Queen of Complaints, Monarchy Dropout. It wasn't just mockery anymore, it was a full-on internet movement. And Meghan allegedly saw it as something far more dangerous, a shift in public perception. But here's what made things worse. What started as a cartoon joke was now bleeding into real life. Media headlines subtly shifted, where once they said unfairly attacked, now it was controversial couple mocked again. Late-night hosts, podcasters, even former royal aides started referencing South Park directly, using the exact jokes from the episode. At events, Meghan was reportedly overheard asking staff to avoid press questions. One tabloid claimed she canceled an entire appearance last minute, allegedly fearing someone might bring up the card. Even brands began distancing themselves. A rumored Netflix project went oddly quiet. One producer allegedly said the couple had become too risky for scripted work. Behind the scenes, sources say Archewell held emergency meetings, not about media strategy, but about image survival. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse, they did. Just as the dust was settling, rumors of a sequel episode started to swirl. Online forums lit up. Reddit threads claimed animators had begun sketching new scenes, this time focusing on Meghan's Hollywood rebrand. One supposed leak described a scene where Meghan auditions for a royal reality show, but gets rejected for being too dramatic even for TV. Sources close to the show haven't confirmed anything, but fans noticed. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators, liked tweets referencing the declined card meme. Was that a hint, a nod, or just trolling? No one knows for sure. But what's clear is this: the story won't go away, not because of one cartoon, but because somehow it said what many were already thinking and turned it into a punchline. And Meghan, she allegedly sees this as more than mockery. She sees it as character assassination. After the South Park episode aired, something unexpected happened. Instead of sympathy, many viewers started calling out Meghan for playing the victim card too often. Comments flooded social media accusing her of using hardship as a shield to deflect criticism. This backlash didn't just come from strangers online. Media outlets and some former allies reportedly grew skeptical of her public image. According to insiders, Meghan's team recognized this shift early and began strategizing a new approach. They allegedly moved toward a more polished, controlled narrative, focusing on her humanitarian work and mental health advocacy. But critics argue this was just a PR move, and that the South Park portrayal had dealt a lasting blow to her reputation among certain audiences. This tension between public perception and personal branding remains at the heart of Meghan's story, and it's far from resolved. In recent months, Meghan Markle has made a noticeable shift in her public presence, moving away from the heated headlines and controversies that once seemed to define her. Instead, she has embraced a softer, more polished public image, focusing heavily on mental health awareness, charitable work, and advocacy for social justice causes. This change has sparked widespread discussion. Is this a genuine transformation or a carefully crafted strategy to rehabilitate her public image? During several recent interviews and public appearances, Meghan has spoken candidly about her personal struggles with anxiety, isolation, and the intense pressures of life in the spotlight. She highlights the importance of mental wellness and resilience, sharing her journey toward healing and encouraging others to seek help. For many, this vulnerability marks a striking departure from the defensive and confrontational tone that characterized much of her earlier public narrative. Charitable organizations that Meghan supports have publicly praised her renewed dedication, noting increased visibility and donations since she took a more active role. From promoting education initiatives to advocating for women's rights, her philanthropic efforts have become a central pillar of her public identity. Supporters argue that this newfound focus demonstrates sincere personal growth and a desire to make a meaningful impact beyond royal drama. However, sources within entertainment and media circles suggest that Meghan's comeback may be more calculated than it appears. Insiders reveal that her public relations team has meticulously timed her statements, interviews, and social media activity to coincide with key moments designed to maximize positive coverage and minimize backlash. One source close to the situation says, "Everything is carefully choreographed. This is about controlling the narrative and rebuilding her brand." There's speculation that Meghan's team aims to reposition her not only as a philanthropist, but as a leading influencer in cultural and social issues, moving her firmly into mainstream celebrity activism. By doing so, they hope to open doors to lucrative opportunities, including book deals, speaking engagements, and partnerships with major brands aligned with her values. Yet, despite these efforts, skepticism remains. For many critics, and even some former supporters, the controversies that surrounded Meghan's departure from royal life and subsequent public statements are not easily forgotten. Past conflicts, legal battles, and perceived clashes with the media continue to color public opinion. Some observers wonder whether this comeback will truly erase the deep division she left behind, or simply soften her image enough to remain relevant. Moreover, questions linger about how Meghan's past and present will continue to intersect. As she speaks more openly about mental health, some critics accuse her of selectively framing her story to gain sympathy while avoiding accountability for previous controversies. Meanwhile, loyal fans continue to champion her courage and authenticity, creating a polarized public discourse that fuels media coverage and engagement. Ultimately, Meghan's media comeback represents a critical turning point. Whether it signals a genuine personal evolution or a carefully managed public relations campaign, it's clear that the stakes are high. This next chapter will likely shape not only how she is remembered, but also her future prospects in an ever-watchful media landscape. What happens next may determine if Meghan Markle can truly move beyond the stormy past, or if those old headlines will continue to follow her and continue to divide public opinion for years to come. Meghan Markle's story is far from over. From royal spotlight to media whirlwind, from private struggles to public battles, she remains one of the most talked about figures in the world today. Whether you see her as a misunderstood icon or a controversial figure, her journey highlights the complex realities behind fame, media scrutiny, and personal reinvention. Her recent efforts to reshape her image raise questions about authenticity and strategy. But one thing is certain, Meghan's impact on culture, media, and conversations about mental health and social justice won't fade anytime soon. As new chapters unfold, the world will keep watching, eager to see if Meghan can truly rewrite her story, or if the past will continue to shape her future. What do you think? Is this a genuine new beginning, or just the next act in a carefully scripted saga? Let me know in the comments.